All right, so we're gonna do another collective reading for you guys. And like always, with the collective readings, I do these from scratch. So, okay, let's start right here. Just went down and got some hot cocoa. So I'm gonna be sipping on that. Okay, so what does the collective who's watching need to know right now for their highest timeline? What does the collective who's watching right now need to know for their highest timeline? One more. Okay. We have the 9 of Earth. 9 of Earth. It almost reminds me from the last reading that we had the 6 of Water. And she was like either giving something or receiving something. And this kind of looks like something being given or receiving. Like a cup, a chalice. Okay. All right. And on the bottom, we have Destiny. All right. Okay. Okay, so that's Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Okay, and this is the Mary L deck. So what does the collective need to know right now for their highest timeline? What does the collective need to know right now for their highest timeline? One more. Okay. All right, we have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Okay, and then we have the Two of Cups. All right, that just came through in the Scorpio reading. Two of Cups. The horses. This is the year of the horse. Okay. Now for the messages. So what does the collective who is watching right now need to know for their highest timeline? Ooh, oh my God, we got a lot. Oh. Got a lot here. Okay. So this is going to be a longer reading. Sure you know that already if you clicked on this video. Okay, just drop one. What is this one that I dropped? See if it means anything. Okay, let's actually talk about, oh, quiet zone. I'm going to put that to the side just because it fell on the floor. Okay, so yeah, we have this 9 of Earth, which can be like a solo energy. It can be solo, independent, resourceful, self-sufficient, in an earthy way, knowing how to, this could even be like hunter-gatherer, knowing how to gather what you need, knowing how to hunt what you need. Just be able to know how to get what you need. But she's like offering something. So this could literally be like a gesture of love. Showing, I just heard compassion. I was going to say like showing, now I just heard showing up. That's not what I'm trying to say, but that might mean something. It just reminds me of like having gathered something and just giving it like out of either like faith, like a gesture in some way. That's just what it feels like. Maybe even I don't know why this came through, but you know, when like people are fighting, like giving a gift can help ease tensions. Like, you know, when people were at war, like coming in and bringing a gift. Yeah, self-sufficient though. That's like the main thing I would say for that card, in a resourceful way, like having your own resources, like not needing another's, able to provide for the self. But when you give, it's being given intentionally. Or even receiving, like even if this is like, I don't need, like I can provide for myself, but thank you. Like accepting something from another. I heard that that was when you accept gifts from another, what is that saying? Like, it's almost like, let's say someone has like a really low income, like job or whatnot, and they want to pay for the person, like take them out to dinner, for this person who has like millions of dollars. And to deny it, like the person who's like wealthy, to deny this like person who is offering this thing, even though it might be like the very little that they have, is deeply disrespectful and dishonoring. And to actually accept it, like if they want to pay for dinner, accepting that, even though you can clearly, even though it would hurt, probably like hurt their wallet more than yours, it's just a sign of respect and honor to accept it. That can be like a gift as well, to accept something that you don't even need potentially, but it's like showing like honor. I keep hearing showing up. It's showing up for someone, even though you don't need it, or they don't need it. Like this, go different ways. Guys, I'm still unraveling these. My goodness, got a lot here. A lot. So destiny. To me, so destiny is like when you reach your highest potential, or you're on the path to destiny, when you're following your guidance, trust, which to me is the highest timeline. When you're following your path, when you're doing the steps that you need, when you're being guided like this. I asked, what does the collective need to know right now for their highest timeline? That's what I ask for myself in my own life. And I pay attention to the messages I receive, and I take the steps that I need, even if it's something that feels like it's going to take an eternity to get to. I'm still taking the steps. I'm going one step at a time. That's literally you on the path of destiny. Just like this. It's like, to me, it's like when fate meets destiny. That collision point. It's no longer like fate, like is this person going to get there? This is a fated path. It's like, it's no longer just like fate. I guess that's the best way that I can put it. It's literally like, is it, you know, like, are they or aren't they? Is that the best way to say that? Okay, let's just leave it like that for the moment. We'll see where it goes. But on the path to destiny, taking the steps necessary, walking your path, even if it looks like you're out in the middle of a desert, like keep the steps, keep going. Okay, so we have this quiet zone. I'm about to get into the messages, but this quiet zone fell to the floor, so I wanted to hold it to the side. So I have it off over here. So quiet zone can just like be about being like protective of something. I always think of a baby when I see this. or a need to be more quiet. Like when you're around a sleeping baby, you know, you kind of like lower your voice and you talk like this in a manner. You know, you just like are aware that there's a sleeping baby, or the need to just like silence. Like this could even be like an art. I don't know why that just came through, like an art show where there's need for silence. Or like when you're in a theater, like when a play is about to come on, like that silence. Okay. Now let's get into these messages. All right, so we have Inferno. Can't touch this. Then we have a synchronicity that is important to my life. It's a number. I don't feel like it would be relevant for the collective to know what this number is, but I'm going to word it in a way that's going to bring forth the message that I need to say. It's a person that has passed on in my life, so we'll see how that comes through. Okay, then we have Wind Song, and in parentheses I have Mom's code name on the CB radio. Gentleman Jack, Vermont, Heavy Hitter that just came through in the last collective reading, Even Stevens, Snow White, It Made Me Feel Light, It Made Me Feel Numb. That's from a poem of mine. Ramona, Marked, Butterfree. Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to pull this thing out. New Jersey, Birthday, Hecate, or Hecate, let's just say it like that. New Drug, Destroyed a Horcrux. This is from Harry Potter. And Kirsten Cohen. Okay, I gotta find this right here. I'm gonna have to use this in just a minute. Okay. We got a lot here. Like, these kind of readings take a lot out of me when there's like a whole lot here, but clearly that's what's coming through right now. So we're gonna do it. Okay. So I already kind of went through this over here. 9 of Earth, Destiny. Your resources and destiny. Self-sufficient destiny. Then we have the Ace of Swords, and this Ace of Swords is an eagle tied up, a humanoid eagle tied up. And I've always I kind of always see he's not really tied up. It kind of reminds me of like an 8 of Swords kind of energy, because his wings clearly are not tied. He can fly wherever he wants to go. It's just his arms that are tied up, bound. I never really focused on his bottom half, but it almost looks like he's in mummy, like a mummy kind of casing. Like almost coming back from something out. Huh. I just watched something today that almost feels like this. Something being returned to life after being dead, because it showed an act of mercy, or it showed an act of, it sacrificed itself to help another that sacrificed itself to help them. And God shone its light down, or the universe, I forgot what it was exactly, but shone its light down because it recognized the sacrifice. Oh yeah, it was a guy that protected a nest from a snake. A snake was trying to eat the eggs from this bird's nest, but he harmed the mama bird, and the mama bird couldn't protect her nest. And it was this guy, a human, who came and protected the nest, and he whacked the snake on the head. And so he sat and protected the mama and her babies until they hatched and grew older. And then he went on his own journey. And on his own journey, he was going through a dark forest and he needed shelter. And he came upon a house. So this was like, I guess, years later or some time later. He came upon a house and this person let him in. And this person said, "I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for my enemy, and I found my enemy." And this person, this man is like, "Whoa, what are you talking about? I don't know you." And then the energy turned into a snake. And anyways, that was the snake that he hurt. Oh yeah, the snake was going to become a dragon. That's it. It just needed to consume one more egg and it was going to get its wings. But he was protecting a mama and her bird. He was doing it because he saw something in need. He didn't realize the whole, what the snake was going through. Interesting. Anyways, in the end, the snake almost set like an impossible thing. And he said, "I'm not going to eat you or harm you if the bell rings before morning." It was something like that. And out of nowhere, this mama bird, who he had protected before, her nest, sacrificed her life to run hard into the bell to make it ring. And God saw, or the universe saw, her act of sacrifice to protect someone that protected her nest. And he was holding the bird in his hands. She was clearly dead. And the light of God shone down on the bird, and she was revived back into her full form, alive again. Anyway, sorry, that was a long story. It just reminds me of that. Like something that was like dead, coming out of its wrappings, coming back to life. Sacrifice. And this is the Ace of Swords, so this could very much be about words spoken, a truth coming into the light, something hidden being revealed. Sorry, that was like a long story. I hope that, okay. So, and then we have the Two of Cups here. So yeah, this just came through in the Scorpio reading. It means like emotional connection, two people meeting. This could also, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be just like two people working together, emotionally working on even a project. They have the same like emotional commitment to something. Their emotions are meeting together. Oh, just like thought of this cup. That's normally what this card looks like. Two people bringing their cups forward to each other. Bringing a cup forward. Or receiving a cup. Oh. Okay. Oh. Yeah, she has this little snake wrapped around the cup and a little butterfly coming out of it. I love snake energy. Just in the context of this story, it was a snake that was wanting its wings to become a dragon. And it needed to consume one more egg. It was just doing what it naturally does. And so it's just like interesting, like that kind of perspective. It's like the natural way of life, but almost like a human being interfered in what was naturally going to happen. If you think of it like that, like nature taking its course. A human interfering. Okay, we'll see what that's about. Yeah, Two of Cups, emotional connection. Like this is normally like two people in love, like new emotional love. In the horses, I love the horses here. Definitely not what I would picture as a Two of Cups card, but I love it regardless. It just, it's like commitment and freedom. I think that's such a perfect combination. Commitment and freedom, the horses. Okay, so Inferno. Inferno, fire. Like, just like a rapid fire, consuming fire. This could even mean, I'm thinking about that movie, Dante's Inferno. Or is it called Inferno? It has Tom Hanks in it, but it's about Dante's Inferno. The, is it the 7 levels of hell? Actually, hell and earth came through in the last collective reading. That's interesting, but Inferno. I actually wrote a poem that has something to do with it. I recently read it. Being able to channel an inferno from deep in the iciest depths. Relentless. Oh, relentlessly pursuing your destiny. Yeah. Like no one's going to quiet me. No one's going to completely freeze me over. No matter how far you bury me, I'm going to return. I'm going to come out no matter what you do to me. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, then we have Can't Touch This. So MC Hammer. Can't touch this. Yeah, Inferno. Like you, no matter what you do, I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep doing the hard work. I'm going to meet my destiny. I'm going to take every step that I need to do. Whatever work I need to do, I'm going to do it. That's what that reminds me of. Can't touch this. You're not going to hold me back. Yeah. Okay, then we have, I guess I can just say this number. Okay. 516. So this represents May 16th. That might just be important to someone here. This represents someone in my life that's passed on. It was my aunt. She passed on a couple of years ago. It's sitting right next to Windsong, which is my mom's code name, which is her sister. It's her only sister that passed on. And my mom's been like struggling with it. So these two are sitting right next to each other. The sisters are sitting right next to each other. Literally my aunt's synchronicity and my mom's code name, Windsong. It's very interesting. We have with in there, it's sitting, both of these are sitting right underneath this 9 of Earth, this cup being held up. This cup being held. Like I said, I keep hearing showing up, which I don't know why that's coming through for this card. Because normally this is just like self-sufficient. She's kind of like in her own garden, kind of like reveling in all the fruit she's grown, all the blossoms around her. Like grateful for everything she's created. It's very much like a self-recognition card. Showing up. It's an earthy card, but she's holding water. At least I assume that's what's in her bowl. Could be food, for all I know. It's glowing. And it almost looks like the snake is eating from it or drinking from it. And the butterfly is like coming out of it. Yeah, very interesting. So this could mean like even a reunion of some sort. Making peace with something. Okay, let's keep going. Then we have Gentleman Jack. So I've not seen the series or movie series, right? I really want to see this. It's a lesbian show or movie, whichever it is. I think it's a show though. It's something that I wanted to see years ago. I've just kind of forgot about it, but I put it in here. Like I would like to see it. Yeah. But it took place in like a different period of time. Back when it was like harder for this kind of union to take place. Clearly she was more masculine. It was like during a time period where there were like still top hats and stuff, you know, like lesbians, like during that kind of period. And it's sitting right underneath this like bound energy. This Ace of Swords, a truth. If we're thinking about that story, that bird, coming back to life because of like giving her life as a sacrifice because someone gave their life for her eggs, her nest. And like God saw the sacrifice and the grace in it and recognized that and brought her back to life. It was something like that. It was a Japanese tale, I believe. I just watched it earlier today. Okay, then we have Vermont, but we also have New Jersey here. So whenever I see states, obviously, like whoever's watching this might not even be in the country that this state is in. So what I say, or have a connection to it, even if you live in the US. So what I say is just like, look out for this in your own life. If you see something about Vermont or New Jersey come across your feed, like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, just maybe hold some awareness around it. Just see what it is about. It might just be aware of maybe like what's being shared even. Unless these two mean something for you. I mean, they're kind of like right there next to each other. So this could be very much like important if one of you live in that area. I live in the South, so I don't really hear much about, you know, New Jersey and Vermont, but, you know, just like holding some awareness. See what this might mean for you. Okay, oh yeah, and it's sitting between the Ace of Swords and the Two of Cups. This truth being spoken, something being spoken, revealed. An act of grace. The Two of Cups. Like, this could be emotional love. Like, typically when you see that in a tarot reading, it's two people kind of like coming together because of love, you know, handing each other their cups of love. Yeah. But this could literally just mean like just coming together for something. Doesn't even have to be romantic. But Vermont is sitting right between this truth being spoken and this emotional connection. So Vermont. Okay, then we have Heavy Hitter sitting right below Two of Cups. Love being heavy hitting, this emotional connection being heavy hitting. A union being heavy hitting, this horse energy being heavy hitting. It's the year of the horse. Maybe it's going to be an intense year. Fast-paced. Doesn't have to be. Because if you think, you know, horses have different levels of speeds, gallop, trot, you know, so that might be interesting just to like, yeah, look into some horse stuff. Okay. Then we have Even Stevens. So I feel like if you were a 90s kid, like you've seen this show. I recently just watched an episode a couple weeks ago. I believe it was the very first episode. And hold on, I'm seeing if it's relevant because I don't want to like tell you the entire episode just like I did with this other story. But it's about a brother and a sister. And she's a lot older than him. And she's like popular, whereas he's younger and he's kind of like a nerd. So we'll see if that's relevant in some way. Then we have Snow White. So this is a fairy tale. This could also represent Snow White and Rose Red. It could go two different ways for you. They're two different stories. Completely different stories. So Snow White is like a reunion. The Snow White and Rose Red is like a reunion between two people. In the story, I believe it's two children who lost connection when they were younger. They were separated. And then they find each other later on. They come back together. I have the Two of Cups here. Yeah. Well, there's a song made from it, Snow White and Rose Red. This has come through in another reading. I forgot what the name of the band. I think it's like Briar or something. Yeah, Snow White and Rose Red. Yeah. Or Snow White, the actual Snow White story with the 7 dwarfs. You know, she kind of looks like Snow White, right? Kind of has this like Snow White vibe. Okay. It made me feel light. It made me feel numb. Okay. Let me get some hot chocolate. Okay. This is from a poem that I wrote about addiction. Specifically childhood and teenage addiction, which is what I went through. Mine was about huffing and escapism, obviously. Like, children don't choose to do drugs unless there's something very wrong. And so anyways, I made this poem just kind of like make peace with what happened, like even not understanding why as a child I would choose to you know, obviously children don't know what addiction is. They're doing something and don't realize that they're forming an addiction. Anyways, this was the moment. It made me feel light. It made me feel numb. I just remember my very first time getting high. I was playing hide and seek with the neighborhood kids, and I was hiding in my garage. And there was like this little play set in the garage. It was a toddler set that we had clearly outgrown, and it was sitting in the garage, I guess waiting to be put on the side of the street. I don't know. But I remember climbing inside the bottom part of it and hiding. And my head was leaned up against the side, and I smelt something, and it was a gasoline nozzle. And that was the very first time. I just remember sitting there sniffing it for a while. And it made me feel light. It made me feel numb. And I liked it. That was how it started. So we'll see what, you know, if there's more to that. But yeah, addiction. The start of an addiction. How it's making you feel. Why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? why does it feel necessary even? Why would you choose that? Why would someone choose something? Okay, so Ramona. So this could mean very many different things. There's plenty of TV shows. Well, not plenty. There's a couple of TV shows with Ramona. There's a movie. There's lots of music with Ramona. This means something more romantic to me. Just like just a name that I like within like a lot of songs. Yeah, let's keep it like that for right now. If something more needs to come through, we'll bring it through. So then we have marked. So marked, something being marked, something being bullseyed, something being recognized as a target. Marked. I also wrote this in another poem that I don't think I've released it anywhere except for one place. It's a poem that I've kind of kept I've kept it quiet. We have quiet zone right here. I'm not going to get into it. It was something that happened in my life, and it was like a vow to myself about I'm going to get justice on this. Like, this thing is marked. Like, I'm coming for it, but I'm coming for it in like a justice way. I'm going to let myself be guided to but it's marked. Then we have Butterfree. Okay. So in my own life, a lot of my poetry and my art, I have connected to Pokemon. Just as like quick, easy concepts or understandings for myself. So when I draw it from here, I have an instant like ability to know what I need to focus on or something I need to focus on. Refocus on. So where is Butterfree? Oh, right here. Okay. Oh, this is with my Save a Fox artwork. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, my Save a Fox artwork. So if there's anyone watching here that like was following the Save a Fox organization or rescue, know that Michaela just passed away. Committed, you know, I'm not going to say the word on here. I don't want it to be triggered. Yeah. And so anyways, there was a contest that was going on shortly after she passed. And it was pretty much focused on her and the foxes for that year because of what had just happened. So anyways, I did an artwork. I did a piece that I submitted. And with it, I have Butterfree connected to this. So Save a Fox artwork, Michaela Rains. And I have a couple words here just for my own self. I'm going to read them. Sometimes a scream sounds like a whisper. I'm not going to say the word, but the S word, awareness. Jane Goodall passed yesterday. Two people who loved animals very much. Two people who loved animals very much, whose impact left a wake in their absence. Foxes and chimpanzees. And the song that I have connected with that is Beautiful People, Beautiful Problems by Lana Del Rey, featuring Stevie Nicks. Okay. Oh. So that, so we have a couple heavy things right here. So this could simply even just creating something or making something in reverence to something or honoring something, like maybe someone who's passed away, something that's passed out of your life, just a recognition of something, creating art around it, in gratitude that like if you're thinking about like Michaela Rains and Jane Goodall, just being grateful that they even existed in our world. just, I'm thinking about my aunt right here too, because she passed away and she's showing up right here. Yeah, I mean, if that means something to you, if there's some people here that who are connected with that, just might be helpful to make some art, write some poetry, get your feelings out on paper, create something in reverence. But yeah, just it just like sounds like holding, yeah, just holding reverence around something, like maybe just creating from that space. Then we have New Jersey. And I already kind of got into this with the Vermont thing. I keep seeing New Jersey coming up in the readings. I keep seeing it. I don't know what this New Jersey thing is about, but clearly someone here that's following knows is connected to New Jersey. It just keeps coming up. And I have no connection to it. Other than I watched a video like a month ago with the Avett brothers in New Jersey. Literally the only thing that I can think of. So, just something to look out for. Maybe even the Avett brothers. Like, go look up the Avett brothers. They're an awesome band. Okay. Then we have birthday. So someone's birthday or a birthday. Interesting, because I have this word separated. I know it's one word, but here on the when I wrote it, it's birthday. A day of birth, maybe even birthing something. Like an anniversary of something. An anniversary of even like a business being created or something. Or like an anniversary, like a recognition of something that was just started. This could even be within a relationship right here. The birth of something. Because we have like the kind of like DOB. No. DOB is the date of birth. I was going to say the other one. What is that? Okay, well, yeah, we have this like people passing on. Like it's several right here. But then we have birthday, which means something being renewed, something being born. The cycles of life. Endings and beginnings. The birth of something. A day of birth. Okay. Then we have Hecate. And I actually misspelled it on the thing here. Yeah, I misspelled it. But yeah, Hecate. Magic. She's not one that I did work, like archetypal work, a long time ago with this, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But I haven't really done anything since, and I can't really remember what this archetypal energy is about. That might be just something that I need to look into again. I believe it's like a goddess of magic or goddess of a crossroads. Goddess of night. I believe it's one of those. But if this means something important to you, that might just be important to like bring that into your life right now. Even just like archetypally within yourself. Whatever you believe, however you believe, if it's more of like an archetype thing of embodiment or if it's something that you worship, just like bringing this energy or even just looking into it, investigating, learning something new. Okay, then we have new drug. So new drug. Something, Something, because right here we have this addiction thing. New drug. The development of something new that kind of feels drug-like. It made me feel light. It made me feel numb. In the last reading, we were talking about dispenser, like medicine. Showing up as your authentic self was like medicine to other people. Like, you can say that is like a drug, a new drug. Showing up authentically, being flawed, and just being unashamed, like at where you are, being in transition, can help others feel safer. It's like medicine. New drug. Okay. I mean, this could literally mean something else, like, or even the study of something new coming forward. I'm thinking about, what is that? How do you pronounce that? Psilocybin? Right? Psilocybin? Maybe coming into more awareness around that. The benefits around it. Kind of like with marijuana, you know, that's being more legalized. And now there's more studies too, about like the harm and also the good with marijuana. So that's interesting. So normally when something is like confined and there's like almost like law against it, there's less study, there's less ability to understand the actual true impact of something until it's legalized. And just with with marijuana, we haven't really had like really good studies about the impacts of marijuana until it became more legalized. And now we have like, we're developing a greater awareness around it within the youth, within just like different people. And there's some really like, how do I say this? Because I went through this in my own life. Things that I didn't know about marijuana until I was going through something. And then I was looking into it because I didn't understand what I was going through. And I realized there was like this growing awareness around it. And I don't want to say anything prematurely on here or like, yeah, just don't want to do that. But maybe just looking into something, maybe looking at the effects of something, having a greater awareness around the research of certain drugs, even marijuana, like looking deeper into the impact it's been having on like the US. There's good and there's bad, but well, not the point is, but like now we have a lot more information, a lot more research, a lot more study because it's been legalized. It's just been able, obviously, to have greater awareness around like deeper impact that it has. And I was just thinking about the psilocybin. It's still something that's very much unrecognized, like marijuana is. So yeah, so it's almost like when there's greater, when things are kind of like, let's leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. Okay, so then we have destroyed a Horcrux. And this is clearly from Harry Potter. I believe Virgo got this in their reading a couple of weeks ago. So destroying a Horcrux, which to me just kind of like reminds me of like destroying something false that's been created. something that's taken on a life of its own. It's a apparition. Is that the best term? It almost, you can call it evil, like, but I don't want to make that everyone's truth or story. But destroying something that wasn't meant to be, destroying something that was never actually real, bringing it back to its normal state. Because I'm thinking about, like, in Harry Potter, Voldemort was clearly, in order to create a Horcrux, he had to literally take someone's life in order to create a Horcrux. That's clearly going against society, what we've determined as correct. Like, literally taking someone's life in order to create another life for yourself. And he was doing this, and he created, I believe, 6 or 7. And he had them hidden in certain things. But it was basically like, so he could never die. He took other people's life so that he could never die. He was trying to create immortality. This could literally mean, in my life, I think of it as like stories, like people creating stories. They're like apparitions. They're not real, but they're created for whatever reason they're created. They've kind of taken on a life of their own, helping keep something alive that it needs to die or that needs to pass on, that corrects the natural timeline, that corrects the natural path. Like Voldemort should be mortal, right? He's just like everyone else. If something happens to him, he should pass on like everyone else, like the normal process of life. But yet he took other people's life prematurely in order to create a longer life for himself. Clearly that's not correct. That's going against the natural process of life. Anyways, it just reminds me of like stories being created. Literally, why do people create false story? Why is that needing to be passed on? Does it protect them in some way? Does it keep something alive that they need to be kept alive? Like, these are just things I've asked in my own life. So destroyed a Horcrux, destroying something that was unnatural, that was creating the natural process of life from going forward. Okay. Then we have Kirsten Cohen. I love Kirsten Cohen. I love anything The OC. It was my favorite TV show growing up. I've watched it so many times. Oh God, I got like super itchy. So Kirsten Cohen is the wife of Sandy Cohen, which is my favorite TV dad. Yeah, and the mother of Seth Cohen. But Kirsten Cohen, oh, she had an addiction. Alcoholism. She was an alcoholic. I have this like this addiction theme going on here. Oh yeah, and she had to go to rehab. Kirsten Cohen. I love Kirsten. She's such a sweet character. She's so graceful. I mean, she's can be fiery and passionate in her own way, but I just love the OC. It was such a well-made show, at least like the first seasons. I did not like the 4th season at all. Yeah, Kirsten Cohen. Mothering. If this has to do with addiction, like, they use your discernment, but they had to have an intervention for her. her dad had just passed in the show, and so she was drinking more, mourning, and it kind of just got out of control. And yeah. Yeah, but everyone was there for her. Everyone showed up, you know, like, yeah. Okay, so let's see how all this ties together. We're already at 55 minutes. Okay, quiet zone here. Off to the side, quiet zone. What does this have to do with? A child? And we have this like mother thing happening here. Sister and brother. Reunited, people who were separated that are reunited, sister and sister, lesbians, people who have passed, who had huge impacts on this world, specifically with animals. Okay. All right, so let's go quickly, or not quickly, we'll do it how it needs to be done, but let's do just kind of a review of everything. I don't want it to be ridiculously long. So this Nine of Earth, this cup, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's water, because it just looks like water. Could be something else, but there's like this birth, something, a resource being given or being accepted, has something to do with destiny, being aligned with destiny, with your path, your greatest potential, putting the work in, putting the steps in, even holding reverence around how far you've come. Because the Nine of Earth is very much about like looking around and seeing how much you've created, looking at your resources, being grateful. It could even just mean a moment of gratitude, self-gratitude, self-recognition of the things that you've created in your life that are like maybe on the path to destiny, that are leading to destiny in some way. Oh. I'm thinking about the story with the bird, but here in this card, Destiny, there's like it's a dragon, but it's like a serpent with a dragon head wrapped around an egg. And normally I love that symbolism, but in this context, the snake that was trying to become a dragon had to eat one more egg in order to become a dragon. But a human interfered and whacked the snake on the head, which hurt it. Not even hurt it, it like prevented it in some way from getting its wings. But the human just saw a need. He saw a snake going towards a bird's nest, and the mama clearly was hurt by the snake as the snake was trying to get the nest. But a human interfered with a natural process. Ooh. Seems very complex right now. Because clearly we have this like, that literally looks like a snake in process to become a dragon, wrapped around an egg. Destiny. Claiming destiny. But this human protecting the nest. Ooh, this sounds so complex because I literally feel for both sides. Yeah. But he kept the mama bird's nest safe, and all of her babies hatched He watched over them as they hatched and left, and then he went off on his own process. But he clearly made an enemy in that process. But the recognition, so say the enemy, but the snake wanted revenge. It wanted payment for what happened to it, for a natural process, and was prepared to take the life of the human. But the human begged for mercy, and the snake had a moment of like, he was like, okay, well, I'll give you one chance. And he said, if the bell rang before, I believe it was morning, I will let you go free. It was something like that. And the mama bird came out of nowhere before morning and used her body, her literal life, to smack into that huge bell, to ring it, and sacrificed herself for a sacrifice for something that this human did. It almost feels like no one's wrong, but like clearly a deep injustice happened at the same time. Ooh, I mean, it is that's a complicated, that sounds very complicated. It's destiny, highest potential, following your highest path, the natural process of something, the highest potential of your spiritual growth, and something interfering with that naively. I don't know, because I have these themes in my life of protecting my nest, my eggs, but yeah, I very much like, interesting. Okay, I don't want to get stuck on this. There's like a complex like tug of war in my head right now with this. Yeah, Inferno and Can't Touch This is sitting right under Destiny. Inferno, no matter how deep you bury me, I'm gonna come back. No matter how much you ice me over, I'm going to burn it up. Grogerman, the fire dragon, when the evil witch put him in a block of ice. Can't touch this. You can't hurt me anymore. You can't touch me anymore in whatever way you were before. Destiny. That is destiny. It's going to help you claim your destiny. It's going to help you with your destiny, like a mindset. Okay, and then these two, the 516, my aunt's synchronicity, and Windsong, my mom's code name when she was much younger on the CB radio. Just sisters. A time period in life. Oh, growing up, like when they were growing up even. Something to do with the past, before everything happened. This cup being offered or being received. And honoring. Like I said in the beginning, like even if like it's a poor man wanting to pay for the dinner of a rich man, like to not accept it would be dishonoring to the poor man. Like that's just like a simple example. Like accepting a gift is deeply respectful. Gentleman Jack. This could literally mean like a truth coming out about your sexuality, a truth coming out about like partners, about people wanting to be together in a time period. This could even mean like something that's just like taboo currently, that seems within like a culture or a family, society, country. because we have the Two of Cups right here, which could be literally mean like an emotional love. Two people like in love. And it's just like society that has like deemed it unworthy in some way. Then we have Vermont. Yeah, I'm going to keep going through that because I don't know what else this has to do with. So just look out for Vermont. Heavy hitter, something heavy hitting, something that has a punch. In the last reading, I kind of gave the example of like the ascendant, like a punch of energy, like the first impact of something, which ascendant is very much like that. Like it's how you first receive someone. It can be intense, it can be heavy hitting, but then like when you get to know them, or you get to, you know, understand if this is just about something completely different, like letting it kind of like not calm down, letting it settle and understanding, even because I'm thinking about like ascendant and sun. Like the ascendant is like a punch of energy. It's like how you first experience someone, but when you get to know them, you clearly, their sun energy comes out and center. Yeah, it's sitting right below the Two of Cups. So emotional hit, an emotional punch, heavy hitting emotions, heavy hitting love, something intense. It's horse energy, big, bold, can't be unseen. Horses, when you see a horse, like it's like the majesty of a horse. It's just beautiful. You can't unsee a horse. Actually, I think they're technically unicorns. Yeah, I believe they're actually unicorns. They kind of have like almost like goat-like horns. Gorses? Goat horses? Gorses? Wow. Even Stevens. This brother and sister. It kind of reminds me of me and my brother, actually, because I was the older sister and he was the younger brother, and he always like pestered me and followed me around everywhere when we were younger, when I was starting to become more like, you know, like detaching and like finding my own friends, because we used to be such close friends. Like we went everywhere together. And then when I started getting my own friends, like, you know, just getting my own friends, you know, it just like had that kind of, I never really thought of it from his view until years later. And I'm like, you know what? Like I just kind of like started hanging out with new people, and he was like my, you could say my best friend for a time. And I never thought of it from his perspective until later, much later on in life. Maybe just recognizing something, recognizing relationships, recognizing something from the past, patterns, maybe how something affected another person, even back in the day. If you're like thinking about like just like deep in the past, like how something impacted that person. Yeah. Okay, and then the Snow White reminds me of kind of like being in the forest, like stumbling upon this house. That's a good house you want to stumble on. Not this house where like this thing is like, I mean, clearly justice is justice for a reason. Like clearly like karmic justice. I would say that was like a karmic situation, right? It just feels so complex. But Snow White, yeah, dwarves, these gentle beings, like hardworking, like they gave their house, you know, so to keep her safe from the evil witch. We had the Grogerman thing. From what's frozen you over. And we were talking about Grogerman. This was in Cancer's reading a couple readings ago, about being iced over. The natural processes of life, your natural gifts, your authenticity, being frozen over, held back, and burning it up, burning through that ice. Being hidden from a witch, escaping the witch's castle. Snow White reunited with something that was like separated. Yeah, it made me feel light, it made me feel numb. Yeah, the first kind of phases of addiction, like those crucial moments where maybe this is about recognizing something in your own life or someone in your life, the beginning of something, and making sure that it doesn't become an addiction. Like literally, that feels like the first step, like something new, and making sure that you set up your boundaries, that it's not something that like takes you, and you get on like a cycle that becomes more intense. Like maybe just holding like a self-intervention or just even self-acceptance, but like understanding something, just maybe being cautious. Yeah, because I'm thinking about when I was a child, clearly I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand like that I was what I was doing, like creating an addiction. Like that wasn't something that I even was aware of. I just knew that it made me feel better, and for whatever reason, like it was something that I leaned on. So if this is about like even no, I don't want to say it like that because I'm not feeling that. I feel like it's more so something to have awareness around. Just making sure the I just like I heard parameters are in check. Make sure the parameters are in check. Or just like boundaries, recognizing something. Because I'm thinking about like even with medical marijuana, you know, it's healing to people, but also like it's medical grade. And if you're using that constantly, there's a lot of like new research coming out. And I experienced this before I saw all that research that came out, and it scared the crap out of me. What happened to me. And I don't smoke anymore specifically because of that, but just maybe just recognizing if you're doing something new, like understanding, maybe just doing more research. I'm just going to put it like that. Maybe doing more research, getting the information that you need, even. Yeah, and then Ramona. Yeah, it just reminds me of kind of like romantic energy. Even like teenage, like young love. It doesn't have to be, but it can just like mean these like pure emotions. Yeah, pure emotions within something. And then marked, something being marked. You could even say like that snake had that human marked and was waiting for that moment that that human came to his door. He was waiting to settle that karmic debt needed to be settled, even. You could say it like that. Something being marked. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. And then Butterfree, the Pokemon. Um, recognizing the impact maybe even someone had on this world, what they've done, what they did with their life, celebrating that in some way, creating art from it, creating something beautiful from it as like recognition. And then New Jersey. or even speaking up for people, because it was also about, you know, awareness around the S word. Yeah, if that has anything to do with you. Yeah. And then New Jersey, gonna leave it like it is. Don't I feel like I went into that as far as I can. Birthday, the birth of something, the birth of a destiny, of your destiny, recognizing it, because we have the egg here. Birth. With every ending, there is a birth. The energy is renewed. That's from a poem of mine. The energy is renewed. Okay. And then Hecate. Yeah, just like check out this goddess. She just might be important for you in some way. She's either the goddess of magic, crossroads, or the night. Yeah. And then new drug. Yeah, this just sounds like just having research around something, recognizing the impact of something. Like I'm thinking about even love can feel like a drug. The intoxication of love, of being loved. Just making sure, like, yeah, just checking your parameters, like this right here. Making boundaries with yourself, making sure your boundaries are, just going through your boundaries, making things clear with yourself to just like prevent any kind of like being swept away from something. Grounding, it just feels like deeper grounding. Just, yeah. Then destroyed a horcrux, destroyed something false, destroyed something that interrupted the natural process of life, the natural destiny from being met. Yeah. Okay, then Kirsten Cohen. Mothering. This beautiful mothering energy. But she also did have an addiction, and there was that need to show support to her, show up, get her the help that she needed. She was I've already gone into that, but yeah, Sandy and Kirsten Cohen. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I feel like I feel like I went into this. I mean, we had a lot of messages come out, so clearly I could keep picking out this for like another hour and see what else came out, but I'm gonna leave that up to you. If there's anything here that you need to look up Ramona. Like, there's a lot of songs and a lot of like characters within there's a TV series. I forgot what the name of it was, with her boyfriends. Anyways, it's really cute. And or the movie. And yeah, just look up Ramona. And oh Ramona, oh Ramona. Da, da, da. Can't Touch This, MC Hammer. CB Radio, Gentleman Jack, Vermont, New Jersey, Butterfree, Snow White and Rose Red, or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Even Stevens, Hecate, Some Kind of New Drug, Horcrux, maybe watching a scene from Harry Potter where a Horcrux is being destroyed, kind of get like an emotional feeling behind it, and Kirsten Cohen from the OC. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here, guys. I hope you got some information, some answers, some questions that are helpful for you in your life. And yeah, good luck with whatever this is.